Welcome back everyone, Ross Turner here. Well, it certainly doesn't seem like 5 minutes since I made my last video for you, but as you know, you're like me and you understand the importance of the message which I'm trying to give to our community. I'm a big believer in giving something back, not just here but in all parts of life. Honestly, everything does come around in cycles, and this is why I'm trying to give you the best content and advice possible in this video series. I've had a lot of fun making them, and from the comments and all the reactions I've received so far, you can see that it's really hit home with a lot of you. Anyway, for those of you who don't know me, I think it's really important that you understand my journey, because I'm sure some of you out there are either on a similar path to me or have been on a similar path. Before we begin though, let me just say that I'm still very much retired. For those of you who don't know me, I am of course Ross Turner. I've been involved with horse racing software for the last 8 years. It's always been my plan to retire at the end of this year, 2011, and the main reason was to allow myself the time to work with my stats guy full time, as at the moment I'm still only really involved part time and weekends. I announced way back in March that I was going to leave the community to focus on my own racing and to get back to basics, making substantial profits from my betting. I've always planned to release FL one last time before the end of the year and then disappear from the betting community once and for all. Although I still intend to have FL software live, as I will be using it daily as soon as myself and the data guy can get back on track with a new server and improved and updated version of the software, hopefully in early 2012. I think the reason most people get started with betting is that they simply want a better life and they see betting as an opportunity to have that, and it can be as long as it's done in the right way. I first got started way back 17 years ago now, and I was working in a crappy job, and a few of the lads, they used to have a bet, and eventually I got given the job of going down to the bookies and placing bets for them. Sometimes they won, sometimes they didn't. More times rather than not, it was an unsuccessful trip for them, and from there I kind of started looking upon racing as another way to actually win money, make money, and I started reading as much as I could. I bought betting books and I used to go through the Racing Post daily. I was searching for any tips, any tricks, anything I could find really, and eventually from there I got into buying software, and it was a ratings product, and this kind of opened my eyes to lay betting, which was really where it all started to fit into place for me. And from there I started doing even more research, collecting stats, filters. I developed my own systems, and eventually I went on to build my own software, which actually started really basically, but it's now moved on to be a very precise piece of kit. And even last season on the flat, we actually outperformed Raceform Interactive, 180 winners to 140. I finally decided that before I leave and retire and head off into the sunset, call it what you want, that I really do want to give something back to our betting community. Simple as that really. And I mean, I could have done a few things. I could have bundled together lots of systems, or sent out daily email selections, or anything like that really. There's lots of other system producers out there who do similar kind of thing, but that's not really my style, and I tend to give those types of things away for free anyway, so you know, I do that as a thank you. So I'm more into the software kind of side of things, and you know, it'll make your life easier, and it's got to be worth my time and effort at the end of the day, and I'm not just going to put crap out there. So I mean, those people out there who actually read my blog, you'll know that I prefer to give away my very best racing advice and products. If I was to ask you, what was your betting plan? Now, I'm guessing that most of you out there would probably say, make money, right? Now, if I was then going to ask you, how would you do this? Well, you'd probably say, buy betting products and betting systems. So, here's your objective for the day. Find somebody who's already making money with betting and do what this professional bettor is doing. Simple as that. Okay, so how about if you and me sit down together and we structured a plan for you to actually make money from your bet. Ask yourself this: how much money per month would you like to make from betting? You've got your figures, you've got your required strike rate, and this allows you to make the money, right? So how committed would you be to your betting if you knew this outcome in advance of actually using a betting product? And this betting product allowed you to make money from your betting. When FL first opened its doors to the world of horse racing back in 2008, all we had was a lonely PDF, although we did provide additional customer support, which I'm proud to say went beyond just sending out an email. We covered a few extra bases even back then with the daily blog, which included questions and answers for our clients. As time progressed, we made around 220 sales of the original PDF guide, but people wanted more, and one of the guys who bought the system sent me an email with an Excel spreadsheet. This actually calculated the FL method scores for you, so all you needed to do was run through the 12-point selection process and enter the data into the spreadsheet. It was all very neat and tidy and really helpful, especially for all the people out there who were scribbling away horses' positives and negatives on scrap paper. From here, one of the other guys, who was a client, he told me he could develop the spreadsheet even further and create a piece of software using Excel which could scrape all the horse racing data we needed to work out the list selections and actually deliver a working Excel calculator to all the members. So after a few weeks, we built our very first FL software beta model. It looked a million miles better than what we'd had previously, and it was automatic apart from having to add the race codes, but it worked, and it actually provided the calculation for the top 3 horses within the betting. As you can imagine, people really loved having this piece of software on their home computers, and not only did it speed up the selection process tenfold, but it pointed them in a whole new direction. In the past, I've actually used many methods available to me, whether it was certain websites or newspapers, anything I had at my disposal, but now the opportunity to embrace the software really allowed me to shift my thought process in a whole new direction. All I really needed now was for the right person for the job and the right opportunity. Luckily for me, I didn't have to wait too long. Things went well for a while with our Excel software until one day the Racing Post started a complete website overhaul, something which I still think they haven't got sorted even today. This kind of killed our new software, which was a great shame really, as a lot of time and effort had gone into developing it. Then one day, and I remember the day quite clearly because I was actually away having a meeting at the time, and I checked my emails to be confronted by a client who sent me a copy of my ebook method, but now in a very basic yet fully functional software version. At first I thought, wow, this is great, it actually calculates the selections for you and it's not an Excel. Then I thought, you know, I really need to get this guy on board. So after a few emails backwards and forwards, one of my very first clients actually agreed to develop and become my full-time software developer for FL. He's also a friend and a racing enthusiast as well, and we've been working together ever since. So let me just tell you briefly how it works. I come up with what I require in terms of selection making, how the process works and how I want the software to look and feel, and what I really needed to do to look at the horse's history, past or present. The software then needs to be able to deliver to the user a readable format, easy for everybody to understand. I pass this on to my guy and he makes all the ideas 10 times better than I could ever hope for, and he also adds in a few extra ways of finding and processing and delivering the data and making it all work smoothly, which is really the most important bit, especially if you're not really technical like me. Now, what some people don't realise is that we have a couple of other guys who look after our databases. These are the guys who pull and crunch all the data together, so basically we can use it and make it in a readable manner for you to download the ratings first thing in the morning. I also have a member and a friend who looks after us with all the stats of the software, and he checks to see what it's producing in terms of winners. He's the stats man, and what he doesn't know about racing and figures is certainly not worth knowing. So you see that, you know, we started from humble beginnings, and just like myself, we turned this into something which we have today, something which is efficient, packed full of great racing features, flexible, easy to use, and most importantly, fully supported by a great team. So, even though I'm retiring from selling online products, FL will always continue to be in the background, doing what it was designed to do in the first place, and this is pick winning selections. So if you've missed any of the other videos, then click to the right of this video, somewhere over there, and you can grab the PDFs. Use the techniques, they cost nothing, only thing they'll take is time to implement, and watch out for my next video. We'll come to the end of the video series now, and in the next video it's really important. So I'll show you without a shadow of a doubt how FL and horse racing software is at least 4 times better at picking winners than the Racing Post owned software. If you have any questions, any comments, anything like that, don't hesitate to leave them here. I always enjoy reading your thoughts and it helps me answer them in the next video. So stay tuned and I'll see you in a few days for the next video installment.